Holy cow, this place looks amazing.
Yeah, well, it's all yours, man. You know, paper signed, you got the keys. Welcome to Los Angeles.
That is so great. Oh, hey man, just one more question. Is there somewhere I could record?
Hi, it's me. I recently drove 24 hours across the country and moved to Los Angeles, California. And while that was a terrible, terrible experience, I have a bigger problem. I'm not rich. Wait, stand by. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm being told that's not the real problem. The real problem is I have to record SolarBalls like yesterday, and I have nowhere to do it in this very nice but very echoey apartment. So today, we're gonna fix that. The plan is simple. Go to Lowe's, buy some wood, cut it to size, fasten it together, fill it with insulation, hang it from the walls in this very long closet, and build a Grammy Award-winning home studio. And I will bet you money it's only gonna take me like 8 hours. Because I'm just that good. Step 1. Acquire wood. We immediately got off to a terrible start because I've never purchased wood before in my entire life. I actually hadn't thought about that. It's kind of embarrassing, I feel like. But I found something that worked roughly with the dimensions of the insulation I was going to be packing with, so I put it in the cart and asked an employee if they could help me cut it. And they said, yeah, just go to the sawing corner. Yeah, someone will meet you there. They'll help you. Yeah, it's okay, go, you'll be okay. So off to the sawing corner I went and I waited. And I waited. Eventually I found another employee who said, ooh, yeah, I don't think we have anyone who can use the saw today. What do you mean you don't have someone who can use the saw? It's there. All you have to do is hit the on button. Put the wood in. I'm sure it's more complicated than that. I don't mean to degrade the Lowe's employees. Having reached an obstacle, but deciding I would not be defeated, I purchased a handsaw. I got big arms. I can saw some lumber. It'll be good. So back to home I went and got to work. And guys, hand sawing sucks.
I just got done cutting the first board and I am drenched in sweat.
I just kind of went for it for a while and it just wasn't going good. It would keep binding up and then I'd have to start over, trying to do a pull stroke to get it started, and then it would never get started. It kept getting stuck on every single stroke. Eventually, I went to YouTube for some answers and I found this helpful tidbit.
A British man on YouTube told me to let the saw do the work. So we're gonna try that.
And let me tell you, letting the saw do the work changed my life.
That was so much faster. I need to give that British guy some money and just let the saw do the work.
I was flying through these boards like it was nothing. At some point, I became so spiritually attuned, so aligned with the soul of the lumber, that I thought I was in a Patrick Rothfuss novel called The Name of the Wood. So I went on and on and on. And golly, it was annoying. Even letting the saw do the work, which was much easier, it was still there for a long time, sawing and cutting and sawing and cutting, producing certainly unhealthy amounts of sawdust in my brand new home. At this point, I was exhausted. I'd been sawing for hours, but I did not want to call it just yet. I was getting to the feeling that I wasn't going to be finished today, but I thought I'd keep going and see how far I could get. So I got to work fastening these things together. And it turns out, I'm still really bad at using a handsaw. I thought I'd gotten it down, but I guess in the heat in the moment, like all of my cuts weren't straight. So I just had these like weird 30-degree angles at the end of every board that I'd cut. And I tried to fasten them together into a frame as best I could, but they still ended up kind of wonky. But even this did not stop me. After a quick outfit change where I ended up looking like the Grinch meets Breaking Bad, I decided to rip open the insulation. This stuff sucks. If it touches you, you get really itchy, and if you breathe it in, I'm pretty sure you die. So I was well prepared to rip it open and put in my perfectly sized insulation bats into my, oh my god. How did I mess this up? I looked like 7 times. I could have sworn that the bat was the exact same size as the frame I was building it for. I was very disappointed in myself, but I wanted to keep going. So I put one bat in and cut another one kind of to size in a really ugly way and stuffed it in there. And then I started upholstering. On the one hand, upholstering was probably the least physically difficult of all of the assorted tasks that I did. And on the other hand, it was the most annoying and I hated it. Just like pulling the fabric, constantly maintaining tension, trying to get it so smooth, and then looking at the finished product and realizing I'd failed entirely, regardless of my effort. But I soldiered on, and by the end of day 1, I had 2 panels. Only 4 to go. Day 2, I woke up and put on the exact same outfit I'd worn the day before because I'm a dirty, dirty boy, and got to work. 4 panels remained, and I did them in pretty good time. Yesterday was kind of uniquely exhausting because it was all new territory for me, but now that I'd done 2, the remaining 4 fell into a kind of meditative trance, punctuated by moments of back pain and annoyance with myself for still not really getting the upholstery right until the last 3. But at the end of it, I had 6 panels. 5 for the walls, and 1 for the ceiling. I did my best to hang them up in a level and visually appealing way, and while it's not perfect, and while none of the panels are even really close to perfect, I kind of like the way it looks. It's clean and simple, and ignore the sawdust and stuff. I'm gonna lint roll it. All that remained for the panels was the cloud. If you're not familiar with the concept of a cloud panel, the idea is you hang it from the ceiling. And the fact that it's a panel in its own right and has air between it and the ceiling makes it uniquely effective for acoustic treatment. This is something I'd wanted to do in a space of mine for a long time, and now I could finally do it. And it's gonna go great. Right? Now look, I studied computer science in college, and I did really good. Got good grades, got a really good job at a school. I think I'm not the dumbest person in the world, but when I tell you, I tried to do all the math to figure out how long the string should be to hang this up and have it be level and have there be a good amount of air, none of it worked. I was sitting there on my butt with Wolfram Alpha open, trying to figure out the hypotenuse of all the triangles that I'd drawn on my tiny little diagram to figure out the perfect number, and it was worthless. First try, I ended up hanging the panel so low that it was like touching my head, obviously not usable. And then the second through like 14th tries, I just couldn't tie a knot. I mean, look, I'm not like a Boy Scout or anything. I didn't expect that I would have supreme knot tying skills in this scenario, but it was bad. I would say it was like trying to speak a different language, except even that I could probably pick up a little bit on eventually. I was just sitting there, sweaty and annoyed, tying knots over and over and over again, and then I hang it up and it'd slip out, or the string would break, or it would be the wrong length. It was infuriating. But eventually, we got there. And gang, we got a home studio. 6 panels up and a little acoustic blanket to make a little doorway. And look, is it the prettiest home studio in the world? No. Is it the best home studio in the world? No. But it sounds good, and more importantly, I made it. And I'm really proud of that. Something about building this home studio beyond actually moving to Los Angeles has really made it sink in that I'm entering a new phase of my career and life. And none of that, not moving to Los Angeles or building this home studio or working on the things I am in Los Angeles, would be possible without you. You, the people who watch the things I'm in and enjoy them and talk about them. So thank you. Sincerely. I'm really, really excited. I'm excited to work on exciting new things and broaden my horizons as a voice actor, and once they're out of NDA, I'm excited to talk to you about them. Thanks for being here, thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time with a brand new Los Angelino.